You're listening to DraftKings Network.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon Prime. There's nothing sweeter than baking cookies during the holidays. With Prime, I get all my ingredients delivered right to my door, fast and free, no last-minute store trips needed. And of course, I blast my favorite holiday playlist on Amazon Music. It's the ultimate soundtrack for creating unforgettable memories. From streaming to shopping, it's on Prime. Visit Amazon.com/Prime to get more out of whatever you're into.
This episode is brought to you by AWS. Amazon Q Business is the generative AI assistant that can securely understand your business data, summarize results, and streamline tasks. Learn what Amazon Q Business can do for you at AWS.com/learn more.
Welcome to the Big Suey, presented by DraftKings,
Why are you listening to this show?
the podcast that seems very similar to the other Dan Lebitard podcast.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to apologize for that.
In fact, the only difference seems to be this imaging.
I have been tempted in restaurants just walking past tables to grab somebody's fries that if they're just there. That hasn't happened to you guys?
I've done it.
And now, here's the marching man to nowhere, Fat Face, and the habitual liar.
At the risk of going syrupy on you guys during the holidays, I am looking right now at 6 people. I cannot see Roy here and his stoic Santa face, but I will say, in the most heartfelt of ways, after 4 very, very difficult years, that I love you guys, and I am super grateful to be able to do all of this with you. Such a great professional blessing, and to be surrounded by gifts everywhere, but none greater than the ability to still do this show with you guys this long into 20 years and still have it be something that people want to listen to. So in the most heartfelt of ways, as if no one was watching during the holiday party season, you guys, I'm super grateful for.
Just us.
Well, mostly you guys, and also the occasional other. I mean, I can hear him in the other room. I can hear Izzy in the other room. I can hear all the people on the outside of this room looking in, wondering, well, what about the gratitude for right? OLI is exactly right. Billy, what have you placed behind me here? Because I do want to get to Greg Cote. There's so much I want to get to. I want to get to Greg Cote gift wrapping. I want to get to Amin and Izzy have all sorts of takes that they are firing. Oh, now Tony's here too.
Tony's upset. Lucy is upset.
Everybody wants to get their shots off. They're all in the other room waiting to get their shots off while I profess my gratitude to this group of people that is right here, sitting with me right now.
It's fine. There's spectrums of love. You just love them less. That's okay.
Yeah.
So how can we use them for our entertainment now as employees of this company who serve?
I wouldn't phrase it that way.
Well, let's start with Amin. Let's start with Amin out there, shall we? Let's give Amin a microphone and let's get him to celebrate whatever it is that he wants to celebrate here in a victory lap. Because I don't know, he was in Vegas stealing company money, and he went for that cup that the Bucks surprised me yesterday. I didn't know that OKC could be held to 81 points. I didn't know that was a thing. So
it is when it's in Vegas.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but it's a very important cup that not a lot of people care about, and then the people who do care about it get very mad at the people who don't care about it for not caring about it enough, even though it's an invented, contrived cup to make us more interested in regular season games that the players sit out.
Yeah, stupid.
Yeah,
I mean,
did the Bucks even take it home?
No, they didn't do the celebration.
They didn't want the champagne. Their coach was like, let's not do that.
How about that? Doc Rivers, learning from Darvin Ham and the Lakers celebrating with champagne. There are photographs out there of champagne unopened because the Bucks just won and then didn't do any celebrating.
Darvin Ham is a perfect 14-0 in the NBA Cup. As a head coach or assistant.
Wow. The greatest NBA Cup coach ever. I mean,
we're going to go here to Amin in a second and see what his victory lap looks like. But the game last night was something that Amin cared about, and I'm finding a hard time, as we just got done talking about hockey, and we just got done talking about how your allegiances change for sports. Izzy's a basketball guy, and now he's a hockey guy. And Mike's tired. Mike's out here telling you, tired of this core. Done with it 2 years ago. Don't want to do this team anymore. Have given up on where that franchise is, while it's this other one that's giving me all manner of hope. Izzy is the smiling face of changing allegiances. What are you laughing about, Billy?
Nothing. Just, heard a joke.
It felt like high school all over again. Care to share with the class?
Izzy, get out of here. He doesn't love you.
I think I know what you were laughing at before.
Now I know. It was concealed. And
You weren't supposed to talk.
And then it revealed itself.
Could it be?
I do think I now know what he was laughing at. Yes.
Found one of those blueies at Walmart, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Expensive.
well,
Looking for the football still.
Wow.
We'll get back to that. We'll get back
like
to that
$60.
again. Please use Roy visually like that the remainder of the show, where he just pops in staring at us confused from the toy drive at Dolphin Mall. Izzy, how have your allegiances changed in terms of you're somebody who grew up here around me and Cody? You know what? Before I get to that, let me ask Izzy something else, because this is this will make for better drama. I felt in the last segment, I don't know if the rest of you did, Greg Cote bristle when I dared to put Dave Hyde at his side as second best.
Neck and neck is what you said.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys felt it, but there was a
we
little.
felt it,
There was a
yeah.
little.
I'm feeling it now for sure.
Okay,
Whoa.
so let me cover this ground for the audience, because this is good ground right here.
Jeez.
This is good ground. Greg and I got in a lot of trouble with Howard Schnellenberger and Hank Goldberg and Bob Greasy, because at the Clevelander pool at Marlins Park we celebrated our longtime mentor Edwin Pope as the most legacy-soaked columnist in the history of this market. The party was I think they thought it was going to be a wake. Schnellenberger came with patches on his elbows, and we've got, drunk people jumping in a pool. They've had too many drinks because I decided open bar at the Cleveland.
Well, it also had very little to do with Edwin once it got started.
Yeah, they did have a proclamation from the city, though, calling it Edwin Pope Night or something.
Okay, you got to be careful with Greg Cote. Eulogies, funerals, he'll make them about himself. That's what happened that night. And
Mayor showed up, luminaries left and right. It was actually a really cool occasion.
It was, yeah.
But it was too messy and festive for the people who were gathered in the memory of somebody who was a distinguished pillar of professionalism.
I think Bob Greasy was pissed.
He was mortified.
Who was angriest? Was it him or Schnellenberger? Who was the angriest? Because
tie for first.
Okay.
Really? Neck and neck, huh?
Okay,
they
but
were
I
both
will
right
say
there.
that Izzy learned, like you learned and like I learned, Edwin Pope is the columnist in this town.
Yeah, he's the king. Always will be.
The things he says were the things that mattered. Anyone who comes after him here in this market learned from him, Dave Hyde included. But I'm putting Greg Cote second, and he's bristling. He doesn't think Dave Hyde. I think of him as 2A and 2B. Dave Hyde.
Jesus.
They're competing newspapers.
Who's A, who's B?
They've had very parallel careers.
Is Greg A? It's important, Dan.
I mean, the
trust
Herald's
me.
top dog. Well,
Does Hyde have a trade merino column? No, I think not.
Does he have a Miller Lite sweater?
come on.
Right.
Thank you, Billy.
Can he
This
rap?
is where I come in on this.
Can he
because-
rap? There you go. Rap. They call him the rapper.
All right, Greg, go ahead and start rapping. I don't think you can multitask where you're rapping that gift and doing show with us, but I also want to do it around this conversation because I want to quantify it. Greg Cote, in the history of this market, when you pair him against Dave Hyde, I think their resumes are largely equal.
Largely equal. It's like an extra medium.
Are you trying to be hurtful on purpose?
Largely
What are you
equal.
doing?
Okay.
Merry Christmas, Greg.
You're entitled to your opinion.
I was
Dave
a
said-
columnist at the same time as both Dave Hyde and Greg Cote. I was at the Miami Herald, the paper of record, let's be honest. And there is just something about the weight of a Greg Cote column because you know Greg believes it. Like deep down in his soul, he believes it. And this is nothing against Dave Hyde, an absolute true professional, a wordsmith, knows how to sort of hit some notes with the fans and the readers, but not quite the same as Greg Cote. Sometimes it might just be a roundup column. Hey, how are all the teams in the city doing? But every once in a while, when he hits you with that big energy, that trade merino energy, there's nobody else like him.
Greg, can we create optimal conditions for your rapping? Is this good enough for you? It seems like this is a little tight of an area to do this
it's
well.
a little tight, yeah. I should probably be out there like on an open desk.
Dan, before Greg goes rapping, he told us how great he was as a rapper. So I went and I collected about 6 or 7 presents for you, and I put them in the back corner to see if you can guess which one of them is Greg's rapping, because he did such a great job. Other corner over there, right over your shoulder. Stugotz, maybe you want to get them, then we can kind of assess which one we think is the best rapped and which one we think is Greg's. So then you'll know. Also, I'll let you know, someone has reached out to me personally, and they said that they got wind of you wanting to match every toy that was donated, and they told me that they want to donate a Nintendo Switch and asked me how they can send one to us from Iowa so that you have to buy a Nintendo Switch for someone.
The toy drive is till the end of tomorrow. It's what I have in my possession at the end of tomorrow.
So this person needs to book a flight and get down here. You need to deliver it in person.
Look, we will do this better in upcoming years. This is hastily organized, and I have made it. I would like, at some point in the future, to create so many toys that it costs $500,000 because our audience, I have to match our audience on toys given during the holidays. But right now, we're at Flanagan's in a parking lot, and we got 2 days at Dolphin Mall. We got 6 hours to do this, and whatever it is we raise, I'm telling you, I will then estimate that and match it.
Stugotz also, in an effort to help, has made it worse because now no one can see any of the gifts. He wants to move them closer.
I didn't know what you wanted me to do.
Okay.
I mean, Dan,
They're out of the shot now.
You can't estimate a match. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You got to match. Dollar for dollar is what you have to do.
Okay, so what just happened? Look, I think that Billy came in here and they very carefully.
We are never going to close this Dave Hyde loop. I'm telling you right now. It's done, over and gone.
I can tell you what's what. Dave. No, Dave Hyde and I are friends. I mean, he's
debatable.
You know, he's taller than I am.
Did you invite
I'll give
him?
him that.
Did you invite him to your 70th?
I did actually. He couldn't make it. He was out of town.
Some friend. Yeah.
Were you there, Stugotz? I can't remember.
No, I wasn't.
But seriously.
Get his ass. I'm surprised you remembered that.
Oh, he'll hold on to those. Wait a minute.
I keep notes.
Stugotz,
They're all up here.
Stugotz, if you think he didn't notice that you bailed on his 70th after committing and costing him a meal, you don't know my least giving friend in the history of charity very well.
Well, you know, we do charitable work in the Cote household.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't sign the checks per se, but my wife's a big giver, and since I married her, I get credit for her big giving.
No. Chris, can we ask Erlene Cote, please, how she would describe, if she doesn't have time for us today and can only text us, to give us a word or two of what she thinks of your father, her husband, as a charitable person? A person who donates and gives time, energy, sacrifice, spirit of any kind to charity.
Giving it all.
In Greg's defense, gift giving and charity involves really two primary parties, the giver and the receiver, both of them playing equal roles. If you do not have the receiver, then the giver is accomplishing nothing. So receiving charity is just as equal as giving charity,
sure
I think.
is.
We will get in a second to this Dave Hyde loop. I do want to close. But why is Lewis behind me right now holding the gifts after Billy tried to produce a segment and then Stugotz, for some reason, got in?
He asked.
Just trying to close loops.
Right.
It's
that
just
loop
for you
is
to
open.
guess which one, because they were some nicely wrapped presents to see
got a
which one you
mean
thought was the
style.
best.
Loop it
Yeah.
is.
All right,
So
so
many
let's
loops.
look at this.
Worked out better in my head.
Over my shoulder, there are an assortment of gifts. They all look from here to be wrapped roughly the same. I think I would have to more closely inspect. What is you guys look, you guys tell me, pick one. They all look like they're wrapped the same. I can't tell any difference between how it is that they're wrapped. They all look like they're wrapped well, except for this one doesn't seem like it's wrapped very well. It doesn't look like somebody put in any effort here. On
Not Greg's, definitely not Greg's.
So if I eliminate this one and I eliminate this
Eliminate the bag,
that's
yeah.
not
Yeah,
a
that's
wrapping.
lazy. Yeah,
so
not Greg's.
now I've got three.
Half-assed at that bag.
Whoa, what's that?
What is that, a slab of ribs?
I'm sure that person put a lot of thought into that gift.
So it's either this one or this one.
No.
Well, there's one on the floor, too, I think, that has a bow, possibly.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, there it is.
He mentioned a bow also. I don't know if you thought
He
that
loves a
one.
bow, yeah.
Telltale giveaway.
Fake bow.
That's actually not his.
Not a
Disco
real
balls
bow.
and a bow.
Not a real Christmas bow.
Okay, I don't know. Which one is it?
The brown one.
It's the one that looks like it's meat from a butcher shop.
Strings with no bow.
The one that he bragged about how great it was at not that one, the other one with
one
the
that-
rhino on it.
the one that Stugotz called a slab of ribs.
Looks like from a butcher shop is Greg's great wrapping.
Yeah,
That was wrapped in store.
By the way, the rhino is actually a white elephant.
Huh?
What does it say on
Who's
there?
it from on there also, incidentally?
Greg, what does the to and from say? You're not supposed to put those on the white elephant gifts.
I give away nothing. The two, if it is indeed a gift from me, which I'm not acknowledging.
Wait a minute. This says
to
from Ricky Martinez.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Huh?
What does that say?
It says from Rudy Martinez.
Big difference.
That's a fine. Yeah.
It is a fine.
Who's Rudy Martinez?
I mean, that's for you to figure out.
Yeah.
Does he work here? Does he not?
Is that like Harry? The guy that was laughing at Lucy? Am I paying?
Who's Harry?
Who's Rudy? Who's Rudy Rodriguez?
Video department, Dano.
Who is Rudy Martinez?
Is Amin ready for his victory lap out there through the holiday party?
Is he closing some loops?
Is he ready to go? We'll get to Dave Hyde in a second, but is Amin ready? Thank you. Get out of here, Lewis.
And we'll get to Izzy's fandom
in a second. The Dave Hyde one, though.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Where are you guys on this? Where should Izzy? Yeah, let me put you in the middle of this.
Please.
There's no bigger fan of Greg Cote than you in the universe.
Well,
I don't know. Arlene might be.
Yeah, well, no, definitely not.
Around here, no one thinks Greg Cote is better or funnier than you do.
True pro.
Dave Hyde's resume against his resume.
Huh.
How do you stack them?
I cannot remember off the top of my head one singular Dave Hyde impact column that had anywhere near the impact of Trade Marino. I mean, it's on our wall.
What's the next biggest one since Trade Marino, though? That was a long time ago.
No, we had one last year.
Yeah, McDavid overrated.
Yeah. I sit corrected.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of Dave Hyde's. I don't know why it has to be either or.
Because you went icy when I dared to put him in the same category as you when I was comparing legends in this market.
Right. No, I think I'm above him. I do.
Right.
And that's not. If he and I were having that conversation, I would be like, dude, I'm older than you. I've been in the market longer than you have.
What would Hyde say? I mean,
he'd probably say, why are we having this silly conversation?
Me, Maxim.
And he'd be right, by the way. He'd be right.
Which loop was that we closed?
Did you or did you not go totally icy when I said that Dave Hyde, when I dared to suggest that Dave Hyde was in your class as a columnist in legendary stature in this market?
Well, he is in my class as a columnist, and you could argue he's a better columnist than I am. But although
you'd be wrong.
I don't think so.
Well, how do you measure it? If I say awards, who wins more awards?
Dave Hyde has been in the APSC top 10 more often than I have.
Wow, but who's counting?
Well, I know I've been. I think I've made it 3 or 4 times. I think he's made it probably 10 times.
Wow.
No, he's good. He's really good at what he does.
Right.
I probably have a higher national stature, largely because of this show. So there's different ways you can weight it. I think because I'm a protege of Edwin's more directly than Dave is and longer. I think I deserve that stature in this market, but you could make an argument for Dave.
If there's a tie, and let me be clear, I don't think there is. There is no tie. You're the better columnist. You've been doing it longer. You've been doing it better than Dave Hyde. But if there is a tie, I guess it goes to Greg because he appears on this show once a week. Dave Hyde, he fills in for Joe Rose.
That has nothing to do with being a columnist.
What about the podcast?
Well, you don't have Dave Hyde in here every week. I mean,
my dad also more than doubles his Twitter following.
Wow. There you go.
What's the measurement? Not awards? Well, I'm asking. What is the measurement for this? Longevity? He just gave himself more points for being more at the knee of Edwin Pope than Dave Hyde. I don't even know what that was. Dave Hyde also learned from Edwin Pope. We all did.
But who gives out these awards? Because Mick Overrated deserves an award. That column in itself, top 2, I would say, of the last decade.
Hey DraftKings fans, are you ready to elevate your game day snacking experience? This college football season, we're feeling the cheesiest with Cheez-It. That's right, delicious Cheez-It crackers not only satisfy your snack cravings for game day excitement, but they're also amplifying your football watching experience with a new daily fantasy sports game. Best of all, since Cheez-Its is made with 100% real cheese, the game is 100% free to play with a chance of winning real cash. Be sure to carefully select your favorite Cheez-It flavor to snack on. White cheddar, extra toasty, or maybe you're an OG fan, while you select your weekly players for college football's cheesiest challenge all season long. So snack and play like a champ with Cheez-It.
Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com/Cheez-It for full details.
Stugotz here. Right now, my friends over at Simply Safe are extending their massive Black Friday deal for our Le Batard Show listeners. Simply Safe is the home security I trust to keep my home and family safe. I've been telling you that for years. This is your last chance to protect your home at Simply Safe's lowest prices of the year. Simply Safe is a new way to protect your home that stops intruders before they break into your home. Old school systems only take action once someone is already inside your home. That's too late. Simply Safe's Active Guard outdoor protection changes the game by preventing crime before it even happens. Simply Safe is extending its massive Black Friday deal for our listeners. This week only, you can take 50% off any new system with a select professional monitoring plan. This is your last chance to claim their best offer of the year. Head to simplysafe.com/DLB to claim your discount and make sure your home is safe this season. Don't wait. This offer won't last long. Keep your home, your family, and your peace of mind protected with Simply Safe. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
This episode is brought to you by Disney Plus. Game on, because ESPN Plus content is available on Disney Plus. You can watch your favorites from Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus together like never before. With ESPN Plus, unwrap a full day of NBA action on Christmas Day. Tip off the festivities with the Spurs and Knicks, followed by the Mavs and Timberwolves. Then a clash between the Lakers and Warriors, followed by the 76ers and Celtics. And finally, the Nuggets face off against the Suns, all streaming December 25th. Then with Hulu, watch the terrifying sci-fi thriller Alien Romulus, where a group of young space colonizers come face to face with the ultimate horror. And on Disney Plus, follow the adventures of 4 kids across the galaxy as they meet unlikely allies and enemies in Star Wars Skeleton Crew, starring Jude Law. All of these and more now streaming and available with a bundle subscription. Visit DisneyPlus.com for details. Terms apply.
Don Le Batard.
All right, we got to go back out there. That was big. Wake him up.
He doesn't want to be bothered anymore. Now it's getting tense because he didn't need that as a result. He needs something that happens.
You can see him mother effing.
No, he says,
"Can we bother? Are we bothering you right now?
Turn on your microphone, Greg."
My microphone's on.
Stugotz.
Paint the scene.
Paint the scene is I got to go to work. Good night.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
It's weird comparing us. It really is. You know, it's like...
Be a wrestler. Let's go. Lean into this. You're like trying to be all...
it's because I know Dave. I like Dave. I admire him. He's very good at what he does. You know, I think I'm very good at what I do. I don't know that we have to...
Let's go out to Amin, who is out taking a busy victory lap. I'm sorry I put you in an awkward position. I did that on purpose. I just thought it'd be funny to rip Dave Hyde. He's a delightful man. He wouldn't care at all.
Right.
I mean, that's not a victory lap. This is
He's
Amin.
been waiting for you to close this loop for a while.
All right, so Amin is there. We need to get some basketball analysis. He was very excited about the Bucks are now Cup champions. They didn't bother to break open any of the champagne. They just left a big cart of things for people to carry in and out of a room there. That's how they celebrated winning the Cup over OKC. I mean, you were surprised as I was to see OKC held to 81 points or whatever it was. Give us your update, still smelling like Las Vegas.
Absolutely not, Dan. I wasn't surprised at all. I told you guys, hey, everyone was like, hey, this guy, he's a fraud. He's blown more 3-1 leads than anyone in NBA history. Guess how you blow 3-1 leads? You got to be up 3-1 to start. No one ever talks about that. No one ever acknowledges, hey, you got to be pretty good to blow a lead that big. If I was trash, we would never even be up that much. Do I get the thanks? No. Do I get the credit? No. Now everyone wants up a champagne. They brought that champagne out. I said, you know what they're waiting for? They're waiting for us to drink this. Then the next time we lose a game, they were drinking champagne. They were drunk in Vegas.
Keep running.
No way.
Yeah.
No way. Look, let me tell you something, Dan Le Batard. This wasn't Blake's fault. It wasn't Giannis's fault. And it damn sure wasn't my fault. When is anyone ever going to say it's not Dog's fault? Huh? When? I'd like to hear that one time. Oh, the Bucks don't defend. Hey, you guys love Oklahoma City? Guess what? We put them in shackles. They're in the drunk tank down there in Vegas. They still haven't left.
This victory lap is presented by Peloton. Find your push. All right. Find your power with Peloton.
Okay, very well done.
He's running in place.
Very well done. That's the second time that's happened to you. You can't tell whether it's push or power that you're pushing. Amin, yes, you need to be more. You need to be a little more tired when doing this. The whole bit.
I'm Doc Rivers. You think this is easy?
Okay.
Oh, I'm full of energy. You hear my voice? I have to talk to my throat guy. I don't know why I have a throat guy. Does everyone have a throat guy? Am I the only one? I have a throat guy.
He did say he had a throat guy and he had to talk to his throat guy, and it's the only guy in the league that I thought, yeah, he's probably got a throat guy.
I'm doing lunges.
Yeah, okay.
I'm lunging, Dan.
All right, good. Who else would have a throat guy? Like when Doc Rivers said that with that voice, when Doc Rivers said that, I thought to myself, yeah, that's why his voice sounds like that. He's been seeing the throat guy.
Apparently not enough.
Milwaukee, what do you make of them all of a sudden playing better? Weren't you talking about their schedule yesterday or 2 days ago?
I heard Amin Elhassan talking about, our schedule was soft. Hey, Amin, how soft was that? Huh? That was a hard one, and we gave it to you right up there.
Wow, really?
Baby.
Really? You could have been more subtle than that, Doc. If you're going to argue with Amin Elhassan, you could be more subtle than that. Tell Amin what you really think about his take from yesterday that the Bucks haven't turned any corners. It's soft schedule.
Well, first of all, he didn't say that, Dan. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. What he said was, every great winning streak, every great record is built on beating up on bad teams. And the true test is, when you get through that, did you build good habits or did you build bad habits? Well, I would say, based on what we've been doing in the NBA Cup, the last 3-4 games we played, great defense. Great defense. We've locked them down. We locked up Trae Young. We locked up Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Andre Jackson Jr. You don't know who that is, but he's a hell of a player. I'm losing my Doc voice, by the way.
Okay, all right, we'll come back to you.
See your throat guy.
Yeah, we really appreciate that. I asked for Doc Rivers to berate Amin Elhassan. Instead, he made an eloquent argument on behalf of what Amin said yesterday.
Hey, Amin's a great guy.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate all your help. Jeez. I wanted Doc Rivers to rip what Amin said yesterday. He's like, no, let me offer some context and be totally fair to what Amin said yesterday.
Nuance, Dan.
Okay, get out of here. I don't want to hear from you anymore. I don't need your nuance anymore. Izzy, I'm sorry you were interrupted before we were saying where it is your allegiances went. Mike Ryan is proudly trotting you out here as the symbolic face of South Florida. I've moved from basketball to hockey.
Well, actually, if you don't mind just leaving this loop open for a second, because I'd like to. Chris gets beat up a lot when he misspeaks, right? When he makes mistakes, and he just gets tortured all the time by you, mostly, Dan, who misspeak, by the way. Stouffer Stovetop, probably the worst in the history of the show. Chris read the liner, right? Yeah. Can we do it again for Peloton, please?
It's Victory Lap is brought to you by Peloton. Find your push. Find your power with Peloton. You thought it sounds like a mistake, but it's actually how it's written.
And it's easy to understand. If it sounds like a mistake from Chris, it probably is, which is why I just wanted to get out in front of this one, say not a mistake.
Very nice.
Thank you, Izzy.
Thank
Loop
you, Izzy.
closed. Now, what was the original question?
Your allegiance,
Fandom, yeah.
your fandom.
Dave Hyde or Greg Cote?
This one's interesting. Definitely Cote. But So I actually checked in on myself the other day when it was the same day, right, where the Heat lost in overtime to Detroit and the Panthers came back and beat the Oilers. That was one of those deals where I watched the Heat game and was in pain. I actually felt it. I was like, Tyler, what the hell are you doing with 5 seconds left on the shot clock, taking that ridiculous three? And then I said to myself, all right, let me see if the Panthers can soothe me, because they've never been on the same level. And that comeback win did it for me. I forgot all about the Pistons. I forgot all about Tyler Hero. And it was not just like blindly cheering for sweaters and laundry. I know these guys now. I know how they play, and I know how big a win that was in Edmonton.
But this is one of the things, though, that is so cool about how fandom grows up and how you get spread thin as a parent and where it is that you outgrow sports or don't or can't. The idea that the Heat lose to the Pistons and symbolically you're like, those three guys losing to the Pistons, it doesn't mean anything. Regular season playoffs. Oh, Jimmy was really good. This is probably all over. This probably doesn't have a chance. And then you tune into the other game, and what you're getting, because it's not the Pistons, is No, this is going over there and beating them at their game now where they score the 5 goals, and they never lose when they score the 5 goals, and you beat them there 6-5 after making sure that they saw you celebrate all offseason with the trophy that Canada would like very much for Florida to give up at some point. Like the bigness of what it is the Panthers felt like made the Heat feel small comparatively because one of the victories felt like it mattered, and the other one was just sort of signaling again the redundant end to an era here, really. Because if Mike's given up on Bam, if Mike's out here publicly for 2 years, stop with Jimmy Bam Tyler, it's not good enough. Like you've lost one of your chief fans to hockey.
And there was no Barkov the other night. The thing about the Panthers comparing to the Heat, just when you watch them. One team clearly just won the championship, but still feels like every game is important. While the Miami Heat have done that, at least going into the season, labeled it as, hey, every game's important, Jim's going to try to play every game. You know that it's just not the case. You know that they're experimenting with stuff. You know that they're floating around 1 through 6 seed and they're perfectly happy. Every game doesn't matter as much. So the passion and the want to actually experience the game, it's a little different now from the Panthers to the Heat.
It's such a great point, Izzy, because their approach to these last few regular seasons is an affront to the uniform that they wear. It runs counter culture, and it's not what they sell us. And yet I can't see my best player play because rest day, maintenance. It's just like, get rid of those uniforms. Their approach for many of the most recent seasons has been, let's just get into the tournament, well, even the play-in, and then we'll figure it out there. Well, then I'm not going to check in on the regular season if you're going to check out on it.
Don't you guys sort of feel, though, I mean, I'm sitting the other day, and you've got at my side on their podcast, the OGs, you've got Udonis Haslem and Mike Miller, whose bodies are just sort of broken from like working at that military complex across the street, where they're saying even 2010 to through 2014, hey, that wasn't fun. Like none of that was fun. Going to work, pressure, and we're being run into the ground to create the League of Player Empowerment. Then would then allow 10 years later for Jimmy Butler for maintenance in general to be around a program. You do understand that the power shifted when Pat Riley went to Vegas and LeBron went somewhere else. Like the power of all that shifted.
Well, get out of here with maintenance programs. Do you guys remember what the Florida Panthers looked like after they lost to Vegas in the Stanley Cup? Do you remember? Like, they were in neck braces.
Body parts everywhere.
Aaron Ekblad played with a broken ankle, and I turn on the NBA, and I got guys on maintenance plans. It's ridiculous. I tuned into the NHL, and aside from Mark Stone or like the Tampa Bay Lightning trying to game the salary cap, I'm guaranteed the best players trying to play, and frankly, a much more physically demanding and tougher sport.
I can't disagree with you there. Like that part is where you can just drag the NBA for load management, because if you compare my toughness to hockey players, the military's going to pale. Like if you're doing it as hockey players are the standard for what toughness is, then you're asking an inhumane standard from what it is you're expecting from the bodies that play in those uniforms.
But this seems for Mike, and I think he's right about this, and he's been saying this for a while now, this is a sport-to-sport thing. This is about the product of hockey being better than the product of the NBA right now. And it's hard to disagree with that. It's a much more entertaining product. It really is.
Yeah, the NBA is struggling to reinvent itself in a way with the NBA Cup in-season tournament. Now they're talking about making a tournament of a single-day All-Star game.
Yep.
They're just, it's full of gimmickry. They're losing ground.
Yes.
The Miami Heat have been spinning wheels for 2 or 3 years. They need to break up this big three right now. You know, trade Butler if you get anything for him before the February 7th deadline, because why not?
Whoa, they're another columnist take right there.
Because why not?
Yes.
Why not? He's 30.
Blow it up, why not?
He's 35 years old. If he has any value and you can get anything for him before February 7th, trade him and move on without him. They have to. The thing about the Panthers, I was at the championship parade in a pouring rain. The crowd there.
You were covered.
The crowd there was astounding, given the weather. It was astounding. This is not a niche sport anymore. The Panthers are a big deal in town and getting bigger all the time. 5 years ago, they've had 5 years of sustained competitiveness and being really good. Kids born 5 years ago are just now growing up to become sports fans. What do I want to cover? What's a good team? The Panthers are the best choice in town right now.
Let's not doubt, though, this market if they go back to being bad again.
100%.
Like, this isn't like, oh, it's fixed forever.
No, you're right, Chris, but you have no indication. You have to stack cups. That's why you have to do it. But you have no indication the Panthers are going to be bad anytime soon.
You'll never get that from Dave Hyde, by the way.
Right.
So let me get this straight. So market has team that wins title, and that's what. No shit. No shit.
I hear you.
No. Hold on. Because there's a million. First of all, hey, Greg, what did you think about the NBA All-Star format that they're going to do? The new one?
Supposedly, it's several games.
No, don't explain it. What do you think of it? Don't explain it. What do you think of it?
I think it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Pretty dumb, right? Pretty dumb, right?
It's gimmickry.
Gimmickry, right?
Nobody's asking for it.
You know where they got it from?
No.
The Hockey All-Star game.
Okay.
The Hockey All-Star format is like that.
I hate it.
But you guys won the cup, so it's awesome.
No.
It's awesome if it's hockey because you guys won the cup.
If we're talking about All-Star games, they're all terrible. The Pro Bowl should be eliminated. The All-Star game
has been.
That's not the right gambit. The NHL totally replaced the All-Star game with an international cup. Like, you get to see 4 nations, and those 4 nations are putting on their best players, regardless of the NHL season that they're having. This is not an apples-to-apples comparison. And to your point, yes, especially down here in this market, fair weather fandom, totally fair. But I do think that this team and its present run of form is making hockey fans that will like to go to an in-game experience that, if I actually attend, I'm going to see the Stars play when they come to my town.
That takes me to point 2. Point 2 is Mike touts the toughness of the Florida Panthers after Game 7. All those guys embraces. So let me get this straight. Headline: players playing in a win for everything, all for an win or go home scenario, all put it out on the line versus players in a regular season. Wow! Oh my God! They really tried.
Hang on a minute. You're showing your ass here, dude. Because you don't know what players put themselves through.
No, I'm not. That's not my point.
During the regular season in hockey.
My point is, you're touting what they did in a Game 7 of the goddamn finals as your comparison.
No, I'm touting what they look like, but I can also tell you I've seen players' throats slashed. I've seen a main artery cut, and I've seen a guy come back 2 weeks later. You're pulling examples out of your ass.
No, you
showed it with the NHL All-Star game, and you're showing it here by not knowing exactly what the NHL players put their bodies through during the regular season.
Time out.
Why is everyone so defensive?
Hold on, there's a timeout.
No timeout.
Number one, I didn't show my ass with the NHL All-Star game.
Party
Go to 2017 NHL All-Star game. Tell me what the format was. It wasn't nations, motherfucker. It was they played by division. They played by division.
You came in so hot.
Holidays, I mean.
That represented their divisions. They played in a round robin. That's the ones that did it.
Is this a red eye that you just called me a motherfucker? What is happening,
Okay,
dude?
so you're going to distract from the point I made.
I'm not going to distract. I'm trying to have a level-headed
2017 All-Star
conversation.
game. What do you...
The John Scott one? Where the fans vote? They very clearly had to change the All-Star game, and that's why we have this amazing Four Nations Cup.
My point is to call it gimmickry while praising the NHL, who were the originators of said gimmickry.
You're getting mad at the wrong guy. I didn't call it gimmickry.
That's what I said. You said I was showing my ass at the All-Star game.
Well,
you said that right now.
Dude,
you said that right now.
I'm just opting out of this. I don't know what this is.
You said right now.
I have zero interest.
Did he not
in
say?
Wow.
Run it back on the tape.
I'm getting yelled at.
You showed your ass with the
Getting
All-Star
yelled
game.
at just because Joel Embiid doesn't play?
Distract all you want. Distract all you want, but you can confirm or deny. Okay, I said that. My bad. I mean, you could do that, or you can distract and say, "Oh, he's yelling.
Dude,
he's yelling."
I would like lost me a motherfucker.
Okay,
all right. I would like everybody. All right, hold on a second. This is what happens when I cancel the fine bucket. I can't get control.
Now I don't want to see this guy.
All right,
what's the fine?
Let's hold on a second.
Let him speak.
Okay,
yes.
I don't need you're coming over and you're talking to the official right now. I've thrown the flag and I want to clear everyone out. You yelled timeout. Nobody acknowledged your timeout.
It was a 20.
Let's all gather. I'll say, Dan, what do you got here? I think I got it.
Soon after, I showed. You know what? This is the first thing I'm going to do, okay? And I'm not going to abide anything. I'm just throwing down law here, okay? I mean, you're going to leave the room right now.
No, hold on.
Wow. Wow.
Hold on.
He doesn't love you.
At least the tone got better.
We'll revisit this because this is real and it's the holiday spirit. You're going to leave for a second. Now.
Well, can I hear the rest of the thing before I leave?
Amin?
Well, how does he know?
Amin, I need you.
There's a monitor out there. He can follow.
Amin?
It's because you're going to say something about me after I leave.
Amin, I'm on the national airwaves. You'll find out about it.
International, really. It's the internet.
Amin, I need you to leave the room now. And it's only because you're not white or Hispanic.
I don't think you can say that.
I already said it.
said
it. Now, hold on a second. Izzy, I also need you to leave the room.
He's Hispanic.
I didn't even get to say anything.
But Izzy, it's because you're gay.
What?
Oh, wow.
I mean, fine, I guess.
No, fine I'm going to get to because we're bringing back the fine bucket. I'm going to bring back the fine bucket, and now there are going to be rules that people abide by because it's gotten out of control where a sports show just broke out after I
don't want to be live all the time.
I expressed gratitude for everything and everyone that was here, and a sports show just broke out around a hugely defensive Amin Al-Hassan, angry that hockey has overtaken basketball in this town.
Very angry.
Which is not even true.
But wait a minute, Mike, you don't get the last word just because he's out there.
I can step out too.
You go too.
Oh, wow.
You go too. You go out there, make up with him because you guys were shouting at each other, and for some reason
I don't want to talk to him. He gave me like a pat on the side like we're good. I'm going to need a minute.
But you love him, and he's white and he's Hispanic.
I know. Fist fight.
I'm so straight. I'm so straight.
All right.
Many are saying.
All right.
If he goes mother bleeper, it just comes off different.
Okay.
It is. Like, that was so rude.
I need help
really
with everything that's happening
It was
here.
a mean comment.
Yeah.
Dave Hyde's written 4 books.
A means to an end.
Does that influence the rankings, Billy?
That's what I'm wondering. I mean, part of them are cosigns, right? So, like, Greg has his book about the lion, right? But Dave Hyde has swagger. Jimmy Johnson's
Jimmy
book.
Johnson.
Yeah, and then he also...
that was a big one.
He also has Perfection with Bob Greasy. Then he has Still Perfect, the untold story of the 1972 Dolphins, and
Beating
then
a
the
dead horse,
Dolphins
that one.
at 50, Legends and Memories. And one trick pony, some are saying.
Wait a minute. If we paired his Dolphins at 50 with Cody's 50...
Fins at 50.
If
Fine.
Ooh, he got Dolphins?
I'm
back,
Fins
Dan,
at
you gotta
50.
pay
He's
now.
Fins at 50, yes.
I'm saying if I put them next to each other, I want to do a more empirical measurement of whether or not Greg Cote is better than Dave Hyde because our biased crew thinks so.
I think we have bigger fish to fry right now. Everyone's screaming at each other.
I have a loop I could close.
Yes,
Mike
please,
Lupica.
please.
Hey!
Yeah.
What is the loop? No, please.
I texted my mom, how charitable would you describe Dad?
Oh, God.
She goes,
Hold on.
Oh, that's long.
Hold on,
Wow.
hold on. This is a big
That's
one.
a lot of
This
reading
is
that's
a good
coming.
one.
Slow down.
Hold on. This is a good.
Slow down.
Wait a minute. Greg is now scared because he's been cornered.
Slow down.
All right, good. Hold on a second.
Let's breathe.
That escalated quickly. The holiday festivities have gotten off to a fiery start.
Wow.
Again, not what I saw coming, an argument about hockey versus baseball being the trigger because
I don't know. I think you kind of like what's going on today.
It was hockey versus basketball. That's a fun.
Yeah, that's another fine.
Sorry, excuse me.
Pay up.
Chris, can you please tell me what your mother says to the allegation that Greg Cote is one of the least charitable people in the history of charitable finances?
okay, so I said, how charitable would you describe Dad? She writes, quote, he is a very sensitive and caring man, but in terms of monetary giving for people less fortunate, he has a low bar of what he thinks is enough money. I would give $100. He would think 10 or 20 is fine. He lives in 1970s, 80s standards of money.
Huh.
But the gift of knowledge.
Right. And caring. Yes.
I'm a caring person.
Right. Yeah.
And I've tried to explain it before. My wife is very charitable. Like, she gives to, I would say, easily a dozen causes. Too charitable,
It was just
really.
in your ear, yeah.
Right.
That was just in your ear. Have you forgotten how to do the show? That was a joke told to you
Right.
to continue.
Too charitable, you could argue.
They were.
You know.
Right.
They
yeah.
were.
But,
I mean, 12 charities, a little bit too
How does
much
he
to each,
still
right?
not see how you guys
There's a lot
are
going on.
producing
He
it?
laughs at the joke.
No, Billy,
He's like,
Chris,
why is Dan stepping on my
You
punchline?
gave him the.
He's supposed to be wrapping a present, I
You
think, too.
gave him the punchline. You gave him the close to the segment. He laughed, took it for himself, and didn't share it.
Hey folks, it's Mike Ryan. The holiday season is upon us. Christmas is coming next week. So, what are you doing for it? I imagine you're going to have some family over. How do you entertain the family? How do you keep everybody happy? Well, I know one easy way. Make your holiday time Miller time. Bring out a nice silver platter of that beautiful white can or bottle, whatever your preference. Heck, do it on draft. As long as it's got that beautiful amber color and was triple hops brewed, you know it's going to be a hit. Why? Because Miller Lite has taste you know you can depend on. No games, no gimmicks, just great beer for people who like beer. You'll take a sip, look around, see your family, and know you immediately made the best decision possible. Because Miller Lite is brewed for taste. It hits different than other light beers. Simple ingredients like malted barley for rich, balanced toffee note flavors in the iconic golden color. The original light beer since 1975 and still the best one. Making memories at year-end gatherings? Tastes like Miller time! Go to MillerLite.com/stand to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.